TechCast, brought to you by Tech Researchers Club and Voice at VIT Chennai. Well, so today we are going to be talking about something very interesting, role of Illumina in genomic AI analytics. Well, I don't really know a lot about it, so here I've got Bhunesh to talk about it. Hi Bhunesh.
Hi, I'm Bhunesh from VIT Chennai from Tech Researchers Club.
So, what are we talking about? Because I don't know what Illumina is in the first place. So, what is it?
Illumina is a company which deals and develops, manufactures and markets integrated systems of genomic variations in large scale to the companies of pharma institutions as well as researchers. They mainly scopes on the products which serves as a genomic sequencing as well as the genetic genotyping. So these are the main factors of genetic engineering.
So we're talking about genetic sequencing.
Yeah.
So what is genetic sequencing in general?
Yeah. Its genetic sequencing is generally based on the type of our DNA, where we are able to analyze the data of our DNA. So at first, when we get into genetic sequencing, we're able to get a sample data outcome from a DNA, and we'll try to split it because DNA is a helical, right? It has two strands, so we'll be able to splitting the two strands. Then we have to segregate it into a model of piece of glass sheet, where it has a lot of compressors. So the two strands have two type of recessive phases. For example, we'll have as a sample A and sample B. On the top of side, we'll have a sample A, and the bottom side we'll have a sample B. So these two phases has a recessive content where they bond with other DNA for genetic information. So which carries the hereditary information from your great ancestors. So through the sequencing, we're able to bridge two phases, like say phase A and phase B. So after bridging, so we were able to analyze the sequencing of GATAC model. Then through the index model, we were able to make a reverse strand. So it's like a copy of the strand. So when we produce a lot of copies, right, we can able to find the defective strand in your DNA.
Oh god, that's like a lot of work taking it, segregating the parts and all.
Yeah, but as for normal genomic sequencing, it serves as just one reverse sequencing model per time. But in case of Illumina has developed a certain next generation sequencing which is much more advanced through AI technology. So where it can develop 1 million traits per time.
So where are we using this genome sequencing? Like what are the applications?
So genomic sequencing is a major point where we are able to analyze the data issues in our genes and in DNA. So DNA, RNA, like there is a strands which may be a defective or positive one. We may carry the defective genes of cancers from our hereditaries. So where it may be a reluctancy in our future generation, right? So we can able to analyze the defective gene and we can able to cure it through your DNA.
Like for example, let's say like my ancestors have Alzheimer's or something, and you can easily detect it in my gene. We were using these methods.
Yeah, these things. So through that, when you able to detect it, right? So we have to prospectively detect the defective model, the defective model of the strand. So the defective model will be reversed because we can't able to directly pick out the reverse string from the DNA molecule. So we have to reverse it so that we can able to get a copies. So at first we have to try with copies so that we don't able to play with the main DNA. So these copies we have to give a number of tries. After getting into several tries, we'll be able to getting a perfect DNA match without the defective. So that DNA will be recrossed into a natural one and the reverse DNA will be erased. So the natural DNA will be re-localized and it will be sent to our human body. So then the human genomic analysis inside our body, the human genomic analysis has a way more perspection. It can develop themselves because I can learn from you, right?
Yeah.
So same wise, it develops itself from the other DNA.
Oh, from host DNA.
Yeah, that's all. And it serves a way more a good prospect for the diseases like cancers and complex diseases for heart attacks, and because some hereditaries they may be a chain smoker or alcohol because they may carry the total gene of alcoholisms and which may affect their heart disease. The efficiency of heart molecule will be decreased when a baby is born, right? Inside our mother womb, through your data from your DNA, the total body of baby is developed. So in that sense, if the gene is totally perfect, the baby will be totally perfect. Without any issues, the baby will be born and grown well. But in some cases, there's a lot of defective. Nowadays, we are affected due to a lot of radiations, foods, these things. This will affect as much as the things which will affect like nuclear radiations. because normal foods like banana, which will also affect because we have a lot of mutated bananas right now, which have several effects. So sometimes we have like foods, junk foods and various foods, which also have a serious amount of effect in DNA. So in that sense, we have to able to defeat the defective genes because we can't able to produce for next few generation. If we keep on neglecting this type of issues, right, we'll be ending up in some kind of creature will be mutated. Because the human evolution is unpredictable, right?
We'll get X-Men.
Yeah, that may be the issue. Like if that happens, that we'll be getting superheroes, right? Yeah, and then actually the few evolutions ago, we may have a regeneration, like regrowth power. Who knows? Because our evolution, our ancestral humans are so powerful, they don't have medicines. How they cure themselves? Because they have this kind of regenerative power inside them. Even nowadays, like we have a analysis of, we have some kind of traits of regeneration. If we could able to regain the trait again, humans regeneration is possible. That regeneration occurs for heart attacks as well as any body parts. Like if you lost your leg, right, within few years, you'll be getting back your leg, like lizard. Yeah, lizard evolution is totally different. Yeah, that's right.
Too many superheroes
yes,
now.
superheroes have this kind of regeneration growth.
So how successful has this been?
Yeah, because
So far?
actually this is the only company who plays the monopoly in this field. Because many companies have tried, like they have tried millions of sequencing models, which doesn't serve. It will serve like 2 to 3 traits per second, like per time. So, but this model, who they developed, it's a spectacular AI sequencing, which develops a millions of sequencing. Because time is very important. If the DNA straight, the DNA taken from your body, it has certain time specification. If we pre-bounded that time, right, we may lose our DNA specification. And the DNAs are just like more bonded with molecules. It has to be more physically protected. So in that sense, millions of copies we can able to work on with it clearly. So that's the issue. This has become a monopoly in this field. And when other companies tried various things, they acquired this Illumina acquired keep on updating themselves. Even now they are updating a sequencing called polygenic risk factor. So where it can able to find the risk factor of your future generation. Through genomic analysis, you can able to find your if your child is able to get affected due to cancer or T1 or T2 diabetics. These are like spectacular things right now.
Okay, so are there any controversial talks towards this? Because this is the only company doing it, so I'm definitely sure there should be something.
Yes, actually the main great matter of this genetic engineering is like Illumina is just a part, that's all. But if we get into this genetic engineering, right, that's way more far. So if the genetic engineers keep on developing through like years, we may end up in developing ourselves. Like you can actually develop your own kid through AI.
Through AI?
Through AI, yeah. In future, there is a chance like if this model develops, right, we may end up like you can able to analyze your kid's face before pregnancy, right? You can actually predict your
with those apps.
Yeah, yeah. Like through an app, you can able to predict your child face, and if you able to add the superpowers, that may be possible. Yeah, that in some sense but that will be done for money. Yeah, the total data will be evacuated by these companies. And these monopoly companies are just known companies. We have like millions of other unknown research institutes who are prosecuting here. Actually, India banned genetic engineering in 2004.
Why so?
Because we have developed various risk factors. And the past generation, actually, we meant a resolution called the Russian sleep experiment. You heard about it?
No.
Yeah, actually, that experiment is done in the sense of World War time. Okay, where the soldiers don't have to sleep because they have to fight for their country, right?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
They produce a gas which make them sleepless. But do you think is that only for sleepiness?
I don't think so.
Actually, if you get into the deep, right, it's not just for sleepiness. Because many people don't understand what is sleepiness. Because sleepiness doesn't create a monster or something. Because they have produced a gas which mutate your DNA. Through mutations, you lost your control. If I able to mutate your DNA, right, I can make you a monster.
Go savage.
Yeah, because these type of companies will have a efficiency on your DNAs. When they control, right, they will take analysis. If they don't need you, they can erase you. If this thing keep on develops, right, a human eradication will happen. And then this is one of the grey matter of the human development system. because they only see the prosecutions or better things from the genetic engineering. There is a way more for dangerous things, because first we have to analyze what is good and bad in this thing. But people are totally afraid of bad things because they only skip on good things, because we can able to cure cancers and other things. That's better. But when we able to see, like, you can able to make a baby, or less you can able to make a creature, and we can able to make control of any human. You can able to erase him if you need. And then we get into the Russian sleep experiment, right, where they sent a gas. That gas is a particular thing which affects the DNA, which alters. At first, when the DNA alters, right, your neurons from your brain, it totally winds up. It totally winds up, and it started behaving as much as freak as. Then it will take time to the mutations will take occur in the DNA strands. It will change all your ancestral data, and it will turn into a toxic one.
So there's drawbacks as well.
Yeah, there is various drawbacks. If we get into the field of genetic engineering, the future aspects, right? So, on that sense, we will be going into a massive grey matter.
So no matter how many cons we have, we still have pros, but we just have to be safe with it. So if you guys really want to know what you're going to get affected by, which is in your gene, go do check it. But until then, we'll meet you in the next episode. Bye from Tech Researchers Club and Voice of Creativity.